9 out of 10 people who start an AI side hustle make exactly $0. Not a little money, not beer money, zero. And the reason is almost never the tools, the model, or the timing. It is 7 specific mistakes that repeat over and over. And by the end of this video, you will know all 7, plus the one AI business model that is quietly paying beginners $4,000 to $5,000 a month right now. That last one is the whole point, so stay with me. Let's start with the biggest killer. The first mistake is selling AI instead of selling an outcome. Beginners build something and then describe it as an AI-powered tool. Nobody wakes up wanting AI. A dentist wakes up wanting his front desk to stop missing calls. A law firm wakes up wanting intake forms filled out before the client walks in. A roofing company wakes up wanting more booked estimates. When you lead with the technology, you are asking a busy person to do the translation work themselves, and busy people do not do translation work. They just say no. The fix is brutally simple. Take whatever you built and rewrite the pitch so the first sentence contains a number and a pain. Not, "I built an AI chatbot for your website." Instead, you are losing about 11 inbound leads a week because nobody answers after 6. I fix that for a flat fee. Same product, completely different conversation. The people making real money in this space almost never say the word AI in a sales call. The second mistake is chasing consumer customers when the money is sitting in business budgets. Beginners build an app for regular people, price it at $9 a month, and then need 800 paying subscribers just to clear a mediocre income. That is a marketing problem, not a product problem. And marketing to consumers costs money you do not have yet. Meanwhile, a single small business will pay $600 to $2,000 a month for something that saves one employee 10 hours a week, and you need 3 of them to make a real income. 3 customers. That is a number you can actually reach with phone calls and emails. The math on business customers is not slightly better. It is roughly 100 times better. And it is the single biggest reason 2 people with identical skills end up with wildly different results. The third mistake is building for months before talking to a single human. This is the trap for anyone technical. It feels productive. You are learning. You are shipping features. You are refining prompts at midnight. Then you finally show it to someone and discover they already solved that problem with a spreadsheet in 2019. The correct order is inverted from what feels natural. You talk to 10 people in your target industry first. You write down the exact words they use to describe what annoys them. And only then do you build the smallest possible thing that fixes one of those complaints. Real operators in this space go from idea to first paid customer in under 3 weeks, not 3 months, because they are not guessing. And if you cannot get 10 people on the phone, that is not a detour. That is the actual signal that you have picked a market you have no access to. The fourth mistake is pricing by the hour or by the token instead of by the value. If you charge $50 an hour to set something up, you have built yourself a job with worse benefits. If you charge based on what the problem costs the client, you have built a business. A missed lead for a home services company might be worth $3,000 in lifetime revenue. Recovering 4 of those a month is $12,000 in value. Charging $1,500 a month for that is not expensive. It is obvious. Beginners consistently underprice by a factor of 5 because they are pricing their effort, and their effort was 2 days of work. The client is not buying your 2 days. They are buying the $12,000. The fifth mistake is picking a business that has no retention. One-off work is a treadmill. You sell a logo pack, an ebook, a batch of images, a single automation, and then on the 1st of next month, you are back at 0 and have to sell it all over again. The entire difference between a side hustle that dies in 4 months and one that compounds is whether the money comes back automatically. Ask one question before you start anything. Will this customer still be paying me in month 6 without me doing anything new? If the honest answer is no, do not start it. There is a version of almost every AI service that can be structured as a monthly retainer instead of a one-time project. And choosing that version at the very beginning is a decision that costs you nothing and changes everything. The sixth mistake is competing in the most crowded lane on the internet. Generic AI content creation, generic prompt selling, generic writing services. These are all markets where your competition is 10,000 people with the same tools and no floor on price. When the barrier to entry is a free account and an afternoon, the price goes to nearly nothing, and it stays there. The escape is not working harder in that lane. It is picking a lane with friction. Industries with regulation, with weird legacy software, with real-world logistics, with compliance requirements. Those are annoying. And annoying is exactly the point. Annoying keeps out the 10,000 people. Nobody drops out of dental practice billing to chase a trend, which is why the person who learns dental practice billing gets to charge properly for years. The seventh mistake is quitting right before the compounding starts. Almost every one of these businesses is flat for the first 60 to 90 days. You are learning the industry vocabulary. You are getting rejected. You are fixing things that break. Then somewhere around customer number 2 or 3, referrals start. Your delivery time drops by half because you have done it before, and the same amount of work produces triple the result. Beginners exit during the flat part because they benchmarked themselves against a video promising results in a week. Nothing was broken. They just left early. So that is why people fail. Now here is the one that actually pays, and it is boring on purpose. The model that is working for beginners right now is what I would call operational automation for local and small businesses on a monthly retainer. Not content, not apps, not courses. You pick one narrow industry. You learn one specific workflow that every business in it hates, and you sell the fixed version of that workflow for a recurring fee. Concretely, this looks like automated missed call follow-up for home services, or intake and document handling for small law and accounting firms, or review generation and response for restaurants and clinics, or quote and estimate generation for contractors. In every one of those, the business already loses real money from the gap. They already understand what the gap costs, and the fix is a few days of setup plus ongoing monitoring. The reason this one clears every failure mode we just walked through is that it is built correctly by default. You are selling an outcome, not technology. The customer is a business with a budget, not a consumer with a subscription she will cancel in March. The build is small and validated by conversations, not months of solo work. It is priced against recovered revenue, so a $1,500 a month invoice is easy to defend. It renews every month without a new sale. It lives in a lane most people find too unglamorous to enter. And it compounds hard, because every business in a narrow industry knows the others, and your second customer costs a fraction of what your first one did. Realistic numbers. 3 to 5 clients at $800 to $2,000 a month is 4 to 8,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And that is a level people are hitting in 6 to 9 months, not 6 weeks. Your delivery load after setup is a few hours per client per month. None of this requires you to be a developer, and none of it requires you to be early to anything. Here is the honest summary. The people failing at AI side hustles are not failing at AI. They are failing at business selection. They picked something with no retention, no budget behind it, and infinite competition, and then blamed the tools. Pick a narrow industry, find the workflow that bleeds money, fix it, charge monthly,